And welcome back to Granville. Here I'm Evan Flax from the Denison Sports Network for a first round NCAA Women's Soccer Tournament matchup. The Big Red have moved their way out onto the field, so we'll go through their starting lineup first. In the midfield, number 3, Meg Wozniak. On the defense, number 5, Logan Burlett. Up front, number 9, Ashlyn Flaherty. In the back, Jessica Skelly. Up front, Maggie Armstrong. Up front with her, number 13, Andrea Whitty. In the midfield, number 14, Madison Smith. Alongside those up front, number 19, Ann Denz. In the back, Drew Wensel. Number 21 and number 25, Allison Vilsack in the back. And in goal for the Big Red, the sophomore from Miami, Florida, 00, Jenny Harold. For the Bulldogs from DeSales, number 2, Erin Crystal. Number 4, Jamie Barna. Number 7, Gabby Lucchese. Number 11, Caroline Nealon. Number 14, Rachel Logue. Number 15, Eve Barna. Number 16, Angelika Bertola. Number 17, Esther Younger. Number 20, Danny Ingwall. And number 30, Rachel Shive. In goal for the Bulldogs, 00, a junior from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Emily Holtz. A little bit larger of a crowd than last game, as we would expect, since the team hosting is playing in this one. Big Red will start with it now. And the game has begun. That one booted up the field by Meg Wozniak. Nobody there for it. It's retrieved by Emily Holtz. Her first time touching the ball in goal there. Skelly steps up and wins that one out of the air. Finds the feet of Whitty, but a missed touch, and it goes off to the far side to Barna. Jamie Barna on the far side. Ashlyn Flaherty with good footwork, working with Logan Burlett on the far side. Flaherty trying to win that one. Out of bounds on the Bulldogs, and a throw-in coming for the Big Red. Burlett taking this one, as she often does. Look like Armstrong there near the box. Burlett has it now. A ball put in with the right foot. Looked to be a shot. Nobody there to receive a cross, so that one goes wide of the net, but the first shot recorded for the Big Red and in this match. Goal kick coming now for the Bulldogs. Some people to watch out for the Big Red, at least off the bench. Number 17, Jackie Graham, and number 4, Meg Sutter. We see them come off the bench quite a bit for the Big Red, making huge impacts. Andrea Whitty now with it, moving it out wide. Looking for Denz up near the goal. Denz has it in the box, and she's called offsides. A good effort there between Denz and Whitty. They work very well up front together. Whitty with a lot of good footwork and speed. Denz with a lot of speed down the near sideline and a great left foot. As we mentioned, Denz, the NCAC Offensive Player of the Year in her junior campaign. She's been starting since she was a freshman. Drew Wensel steps up, wins that header out of the air. Wozniak tried to get it over to Whitty, but it's knocked out of bounds. The Bulldogs concede a throw-in now to the Big Red. Vilsack working this one up, looking for Denz. Another ball out of bounds, another throw-in for the Big Red. Denz plays it in, looking for Armstrong. Armstrong looking for Denz, trying to get it back to her. Vilsack with it now. Right-footed ball ends up in the middle of the field with Skelly. Skelly playing it out wide, and Flaherty called offsides now. Some aggressive mistakes being made now by the Big Red, trying to get the offense going early, knowing that the Bulldogs have allowed 18 goals this year, trying to take advantage of that and get themselves on the board. That one played forward, won by Shive. Bulldogs trying to push forward now, and Wensel knocks that one away. Flaherty working now, and Wozniak with some physical play there wins that one, but it's then taken away from her on the far side. She's playing against Eve Barna. Whitty, Armstrong putting some pressure on now on the far side. That one played forward, finds the feet of Jamie Barna. Armstrong with it now. Gets it back over to Wozniak, who plays it over the top. Maybe thought Flaherty was going to run for that one, but out of her reach. Ends up with the DeSales defenders. Gabby Lucchese has it now in the middle. Left-footed pass moving it forward, looking for Shive, but fell to the feet of Wensel, who plays it back into the offensive half for the Big Red. Wozniak trying to move it into the offensive third, but it goes out of bounds. Whitty with it now in the middle of the field. Wozniak trying to move it in towards the box, getting herself some space. Dens has it now. Dens plays it out wide to Vilsack, who tries to keep it moving. Cuts it back. A right-footed ball into the box. Armstrong there. Can't get enough on it to put it into the back of the net, and it goes out wide. Goal kick coming now for DeSales. This will be taken by number 17, Esther Younger. That was a good cross there from Vilsack, trying to find Armstrong on the backside. She got herself free, but just couldn't get enough on it to redirect it back towards the net. Burrell with a throw-in now on the far side. Looking for Whitty. Whitty working against Danny Engwall. Whitty gets it into the box. Wozniak trying to volley it at the top of the box, but it's taken away from her. Flaherty with a left-footed shot. And a nice diving save there. A ball put back into the middle of the box by Dens. A right-footed shot. And that one put over top of the goal. That was Maggie Armstrong was the last person to get a foot on it. I don't know if Vilsack's ball might have found the back of the net on its own, but it was curving wide a little bit. But Emily Holtz did a great job there on that first shot by Flaherty. An absolute rip to the far post. Dens collecting it, getting it to Vilsack. Vilsack with a great shot. Armstrong trying to get a touch on it, but once again, not towards the frame. Erin Crystal on the far side. She knocks that one away. Another throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Vilsack taking this one, trying to get it to Dens. She is Armstrong there in the corner. Angelika Bertoli has it now. She works with other defenders. Engwall plays it back. This one played up forward. Shive can't get herself turned around to retrieve that one. Vilsack working in that one, goes out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Bertola played that one just a little bit too close to the line. And the Big Red really showing their offensive abilities so far here in this one. Definitely have dominated possession, something they strive to do every single game, which is something they've done a very good job of this year, leading them to the 15-4 record they come into this match with. Vilsack trying to play that one forward to Armstrong. Just a little bit too strong. Gets past her. Wozniak heads that one down. Ball played out only as far as Vilsack. Gets to Wozniak, but played out even further. And Skelly steps up, gets that one away from the feet of Shive. But Lucchese has it in the middle, plays it back now. That ball played back to Lucchese and Engwall. Engwall playing it up this near side, looking for Bertola. And that one out of bounds on Bertola, and a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Good job to get good positioning there by Vilsack. Vilsack plays it in, gets it to Dens, who has a little bit of room to work. Right-footed ball, a good pass to Armstrong. Armstrong gets it into the middle to Whitty. Whitty moving it forward, has a little bit of room to run now. She plays it up the far side to Flaherty. Flaherty has some room to work. She's working against Nealon. She puts it in towards the box, but out of bounds. Got it off the side of her foot a little bit, and it goes behind the goal. About 37 minutes left to play here. The Big Red have really kept the pace of play to their liking and kept the possession in their offensive half, and the majority in the offensive third. That one won out of the air by Madison Smith. Ends up to the feet of Wozniak and Flaherty. They work together with Burrell down that far side. Burrell giving it to Armstrong there on the far side. Armstrong working against Esther Younger there in the corner. And a foul on Armstrong in the corner. The first one of the day on either team, the first one on the Big Red. So a free kick coming now. This one looks to be taken by Esther Younger, who was playing against Armstrong there in the corner. tries to play that one up the sidelines, mishits it, and a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Burrell will take this one. Flaherty plays this one, gets to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to keep it in near that end line. She does, but it's taken away from her by Nealon. Throw-in coming now for the Big Red on the far sideline. A little bit of miscommunication there. A little bit more than 35 and a half left to play here in the first. That one played into the box. Whitty has it now. She mishits that one, and it goes wide. It's knocked away there by the defender, Younger, in the box. Armstrong plays this one in, looking for Dens, but the goalkeeper, Holtz, steps out and grabs that one. Crystal is working on Dens in the box there. And Dens just hanging out around the box, waiting for something to fall right in towards her. A lot of work happening on the far side. Now Whitty working with Dens here on the near side. Dens still working against Crystal. Has it in near the corner, trying to get herself some space. Crystal knocks that one out of bounds, but a throw-in coming now for the Big Red, down deep in their offensive third. That one played back to Dens by Vilsack. And Dens plays it off of Crystal, and another throw-in coming. Armstrong has it now, tries to get it to Dens at the top of the box, but Crystal knocks that pass away. Vilsack ends up with it, getting herself some room. She cuts it back past Crystal, gets to her right foot, across into the box, just over the head of Meg Wozniak, and knocked out of the box. Armstrong has it now, trying to play it out wide past the defender Nealon, ends up with Flaherty, just as Armstrong intended. A left-footed pass on the ground, looking for a running Burlett, but way out of the reach of her, and a goal kick coming now for DeSales. About 34 left to play here in the first half, still tied at 0. Flaherty wins that goal kick, but nobody there to receive her header. She ends up back with it on the far sideline, cuts it back to her left foot, tries to play that one in towards the box, but it's knocked away. Skelly working on Shive. Madison Smith gives it back to Wensel. Wensel with enough time to play it out wide to Wozniak. That one slips under the foot of Wozniak, but she stays with it, working against Ingwall. That one out of bounds, and another throw-in coming. Oh, look, the sideline ref had it going for the Big Red, but the field ref had it going the other way, and the Bulldogs with a throw-in now. This will be taken by Crystal. Aaron Crystal now. That one over the head of everyone but Shive. Shive trying to head it back in towards the middle to one of her teammates, but nobody there to receive it except for Jessica Skelly for the Big Red. She boots it up the field. Dens now trying to take this one from Logue. Has no luck there. Shive ends up with it. Madison Smith with a good defensive interception there. Wozniak plays it out wide to Whitty, who has some room to run on the far side. She gives it out wide to Flaherty. Flaherty working now, trying to get it back into the middle, but a little bit too much of a touch from her. Skelly steps up and helps out her teammate Burlett there on the back line. Burlett was caught a little bit too forward. That one stays inbounds, and the goalkeeper, Holtz, picks it up. Jenny Harold hasn't seen too much action yet today. The majority of the play, as I've mentioned numerous times, has been in the offensive half and the offensive third of the Big Red. Wensel plays this one back, gets Harold into it. Harold plays this one forward with a big left foot over the head of Ingwall. And Whitty ends up with it now. Whitty with a lot of speed, going to try and separate herself from the defender. Whitty with a right-footed shot through the hands of the goalkeeper, but off the crossbar. A nice rip there by Andrea Whitty. Whitty was trying to separate herself there from Esther Younger. Logue gives that one away to Whitty. Wozniak with it now. Wozniak trying to give it back to Whitty. Whitty with a tough touch there, and it's taken away from her. Madison Smith working now against Lucchese. Lucchese playing it forward, looking for Portola. Vilsack trying to get it out wide to Dens, but once again, Aaron Crystal is there to corral that one in and plays it out of bounds. Dens finds Armstrong. Armstrong with a header. Tries to put that one into the box over the head of Flaherty. Flaherty keeps this one in down near the end line. Tries with the left foot to get it back out to Wozniak, but it's knocked down on the far side by Nealon. Flaherty wins that one out of the air. Has it near the end line. A right-footed ball in towards the box. Whitty gets a foot on it. Keeps it in the box. Dens has it now. Working against Crystal. Dens trying to get a left-footed ball in towards the box, but can't get enough on it, and it goes out of bounds. Goal kick coming now for DeSales. The Big Red not having any issues getting possession or maintaining possession, just having a little bit of an issue finding the back of the net. About 30 minutes left to play here in the first half. Wozniak wins that one out of the air. Works with Armstrong. Wozniak cuts it back, getting herself some space. Takes a right-footed shot way over top of the crossbar. Wozniak did a good job getting herself some space, but that ball was just bouncing a little bit too much. She got a little bit too far underneath it and put it way over top of the goal. That's the 5th shot for the Big Red, only one of those on goal. This one won out of the air by Wozniak, but one on the ground. And one on the ground by her. She stayed with it and maintained possession. Trying to move it forward towards Armstrong, but can't get it to her. And Bertola lets that one go out of bounds for DeSales, and a throw-in coming once again on the near side for the Big Red. Vilsack gets it to Dens. Dens with the right foot gets it into the middle towards Smith. Madison Smith with a little bit of room to work. Plays it back over to Skelly. Lucchese trying to step up and grab that one from Skelly. She can't get to her quick enough. Flaherty trying to win this one. And a corner kick coming now for the Big Red. Good job by Flaherty to forcefully win that corner there down near the end line on the far side. Looks like Whitty's going to take this one for the Big Red. Before her injury in the middle of the year, she was the primary corner kick taker, and then the duties fell to Burlett and Flaherty. I think the Big Red would rather have Burlett and Flaherty near the box in this situation. Whitty plays this one in out towards the top of the box, and that one's knocked away. Whitty has it now. Plays it down near the end line, just out of the reach of Burlett, and it goes out of bounds. A goal kick coming now for DeSales. Madison Smith tries to win that one out of the air. She can't take it from Shive. But that one played out of bounds, and once again the Big Red with another throw-in. And I mean, those throw-ins are really prevalent when so much of the possession is had around the sidelines by the Big Red, which is usually the way they like to play. They work down the flanks and overlap with their defenders offensively and let their forwards move in towards the box, and then midfielders step back and help out on defense. Free kick now for DeSales. This one played in. One out of the air by Madison Smith. Whitty with it now. A good move to create some space for herself there. Fans loved that one. Burlett on the far side, trying to get it up, but it's knocked away by the defender. Looks to be Caroline Nealon on the far side. Madison Smith wins that one once again against Lucchese. Flaherty was looking for Armstrong on that far side moving forward. Flaherty ends up with it. Now a right-footed ball back in towards the middle of the box. Wozniak has it out up top. A shot taken once again way over top of the crossbar. Thought it might have been deflected, but it was not. And a goal kick coming now once again for the Bulldogs. Big Red having no issue creating offensive pressure. That's their 7th shot on the day. 6th, excuse me. Now played forward, Lucchese has it now. Skelly takes that one away from her, and Jenny Harrell directs her to just kick it out of bounds, let the defense come back and settle. That one played in now. Shive has it out near the top of the box, tries to get a left-footed shot on, but Drew Wensel knocks it down right where it started. Flaherty plays it out wide to Dens, and the Big Reds start their offensive march back down the field. Dens working against Crystal now, plays it up looking for Armstrong. Armstrong's going to try and outrun Esther Younger, but she cannot, and Crystal has it. Dens takes it away from her, puts the ball into the box with the right foot, and nobody's there to receive that. Portola has it, trying to get it over to Crystal there on the far side. Wensel steps up there on Shive. Dens has that one taken away from her, but Vilsack and Wozniak trying to work together. That one's intercepted, and that one's worked up the field looking for Shive. Skelly's trying to beat her to it. Gets herself into positioning. Skelly tripped up a little bit there, but stayed with it. And a great defensive play there by Jessica Skelly on one of the most prolific goal scorers that we've seen come through Barclay Thompson Field this year. She fell to the ground and still stuck with it and got a foot on all of the ball and one possession back for the Big Red there. Wozniak has it now, working forward, looking for Armstrong. Armstrong moving in towards the box. Armstrong gets a shot on, just wide of the goal and out of bounds. Goal kick coming now for DeSales. Looked like Armstrong's shot might have clipped Rachel Logue, but the referee said it did not. So a goal kick now. Maddie Smith wins that one out of the air, and Dens has it now, trying to move it forward. Has Armstrong now in the box, and a sliding tackle in the box. A corner kick coming now for the Big Red. A clean tackle there. A very dangerous tackle for Esther Younger to take there. Could have given the Big Red a very good opportunity to take a lead here with 24 minutes. But nonetheless, the Big Red still very possible to score on this corner kick. Andrea Whitty taking it now once again for the Big Red. She puts this one high into the box. Hote steps out, tries to grab it. Can't get to it, but it finds the foot of one of her defenders in the box, and it's knocked away. I believe that was Nealon there. And a foul called there on the far side against DeSales. That one is their first one of the game. That one was against Nealon. So the Big Red will have a free kick from the far side, virtually a corner kick for them. Woody will be taking this one. Try and put this one into the box. We've seen them go back post quite often this year. Wozniak and Armstrong and Skelly can get their heads on it. That one down in the box. Wozniak trying to get it up to Flaherty. Can't get enough on it, and Wensel puts it back into the box, right to the hands of the goalkeeper. Holtz for an easy save. That was a shot from Drew Wensel. Wensel with 1 goal and 1 assist on the year. Wensel with a nice move there to get past Bertola to move it forward. It's stopped by Crystal. Crystal gets it in to Ingwall. Nice move by Dens to create some space for herself. Gets it over to Maddie Smith. Working with Whitty. Whitty trying to go down the near sideline with Dens. Once again, Crystal intercepts that pass. Bertola and Vilsack working now. Vilsack trying to get it to Dens. Ingwall gets it over into the middle. Maggie Armstrong wins that ball. Gets it over to Burlett. Burlett to Flaherty. And Flaherty has that one stripped right out from underneath her by Barna. Skelly moves it forward once again over the head of Armstrong and right to the feet of the defender. This one out in the middle. Nobody has it. It's picked up by Barna. And Vilsack does a great job to get a foot on that one to get it moving back in towards the offensive third. Nobody there for the Big Red to retrieve it, and Holtz picks that one up with ease. About 21 minutes left to play here in the first half. Maddie Smith wins that header out of the air, but Erin Crystal ends up with it for DeSales. Wensel working now. Physically against Lucchese, but DeSales still ends up with it. Whitty wins that ball, plays a high one over near the sidelines. That goes out of bounds. A throw in coming now for the Bulldogs. This one moved back towards midfield by Skelly. Armstrong working now on the far side. Working against Younger. Younger moving it forward. That pass intercepted by Maddie Smith and kicked out of bounds. First sub of the game coming in now for DeSales. Number 23, Kelly Riley. Riley is coming in for Danny Ingwall. Throw in coming now on the far side for Nealon. Wozniak wins that one out of the air. Heads it towards the offensive end for the Big Red. Nobody there to receive it. Bertola chasing this one down, but Wensel wins it. Wensel and Bertola going after this one, but a throw-in coming now for the Bulldogs. Erin Crystal will take this one now. Den steps back to help on defense. Shive working against Vilsack and Wozniak. That will move forward by Maddie Smith. Den's working now against Crystal on the near side. Den's a good pass to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to create some space. Working against Logue, trying to get it back in towards the middle, towards Den's, and Den's wins that back herself. Den's with a right-footed shot. Blocked by Rachel Logue and easily corralled in by Holtz. That's the 9th shot of the day for the Big Red. The Bulldogs with only one, so the Big Red dominating offensive possession and opportunities, but not been able to capitalize yet in this one with just under 19 left to play here in the first half. Portola has it now, trying to move towards the middle, finds Lucchese. Lucchese with some space, a left-footed ball in towards the middle, right to the feet of Skelly, who plays it out just to the midline. And it's played back in by Nealon, gives it over to the newly entered Kelly Riley. Gives it back to Crystal. Crystal and Riley working together. Riley trying to play it forward to Bertola, but Vilsack steps up and takes that one away. Dens with a missed touch there, and it ends up back to the feet of Crystal. Nealon playing that one forward. Rachel Shive now gets it in towards the middle. Shive keeps it going forwards for herself. Working against Skelly, a nice move, gets herself some space. And Burrell ends up with it as Maddie Smith made a very good defensive play there at the top of the box to win that one for the Big Red. That one out of bounds now. Throw-in coming for the Bulldogs as they've started to pick up their offensive pressure. 17.5 left to play in the first. Skelly has it now, working it up the field towards the midline. That one goes out of bounds off of a Bulldog, and the Big Red with a throw-in now. Armstrong and Woody working together, move this one forward. Played forward there by Logue, only as far as Maddie Smith at the midline, and she gets it going the other way. Younger now on the far side, plays that one out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Flaherty will take this one. She gets it into Whitty. That one played up. Burlett wins that header, but Lucchese comes down with it, cuts it back in towards the middle. Wozniak waiting there for Erin Crystal. wins this one over the head of Ann Dens. Dens trying to stay with her, and Crystal just turning around, and Dens wins that one herself. Gets it back to Wensel and slows down the pace of play a little bit for the Big Red. Wensel plays this one out wide. Dens racing for it. Gets it before it goes out of bounds. Tries to touch it to herself, but just a little bit too much, and it goes out of bounds on the end line. A goal kick coming now for the Bulldogs. 16 minutes left to play here in the first half. We're still not at 0, but the Big Red lead. Shots 9-1. Only 2 of those shots on goal. I'd say the majority of the non-ones on goal have been over the crossbar, so solid opportunities. Pretty much on frame, just a little bit too high. Woody wins that one out of the air. Wozniak with a little bit of help there, trying to win it for the Big Red. Wozniak wins that one. Wozniak with a shot, and she puts it in, but it looks like the side ref called her offsides. Meg Wozniak retrieved that ball from. There is no goal. Wozniak got herself some space, took a great shot, put it past the goalkeeper Holtz on what we thought was the Big Reds' 10th shot of the day. But offsides called by the far sideline judge. So it looks like a free kick will be coming now for the Bulldogs. We're still knotted at 0 after that very exciting moment here in Granville. I'm not sure where where that leaves the mentality of each of these teams, because the Bulldogs are thinking, they're really getting ready to strike. They've been putting a lot of shots on, creating offensive pressure, and then you're the Big Red, and you could start thinking to yourself, when are we going to catch a break? It seems like every shot we take, everything we do is just going against us right now. So see how each team rebounds after that call right there. Lucchese now working with it in the middle, takes it away from Maddie Smith, but finds the feet of Vilsack on that pass. Vilsack working it forward, has Dens open out wide, gets it over to Dens. Dens creates herself some space just before it goes out of bounds with a left foot, and it goes behind the net. No cross there. Coming on the field now for DeSales, number 10, Isabel Mcpeake. She's coming on for number 15, Eve Barna. Wozniak wins that one out of the air. Skelly helps her out, wins that one, wins the second effort. Den's trying to win that ball, but it finds the feet of Rachel Logue. Shive trying to work it forwards with Portola. Wozniak working against Riley there, and that one goes out of bounds. Throw-in coming now for the Bulldogs. 13 minutes left to play here in the first half. That one played forwards. Lucchese working with Crystal. That one taken from Crystal by Dens and Armstrong working together. Dens moving in towards the box now. A left-footed ball on the ground. Gets it to Whitty. Nobody there for the second effort. Vilsack wins that one out of the air against Bertola, but Bertola ends up with it. Working it down the sideline now. Shive working against Wensel. And Wozniak gets a foot in there. Gets it before Riley can. Wozniak trying to move it forward now, working against Riley. And now Bertola trying to work it up the sideline with Dens. Dens has it, and a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. She gets that in. Wozniak has it near the end line. Armstrong tried to step up and grab that one before it went to the feet of the defender. Nice touch by Skelly as she brings this one down out of the air. Tries to get it out wide to Flaherty, but just over her head and in towards the corner. That one crosses over the end line, and a goal kick coming now for the Bulldogs. Another sub coming in for the Bulldogs, number 6, Marisa Riya. She's coming on for number 7, Gabby Lucchese. About 11 and a half left to play here in the first. Goal kick coming up once again Seen a large number of those for DeSales. Flaherty gets it out wide for Burlett, working it up the sideline. Burlett moving it forward out of the reach of everyone, and it goes out of bounds. Another goal kick coming. A few moments feel like this game could have turned into a very physical, very chippy game, but those moments have seemed to have subsided as quickly as they came. This goal kick played out now. Wozniak wins it out of the air, finds Armstrong, who plays it out wide to Whitty. Moving forward now. Whitty with the right foot into the box. And that one played in. Oh, a nice volley there from Armstrong, and she puts it over top of the crossbar. Crystal was waiting back, thought it was coming right to her, and once again Armstrong swoops in out of nowhere. Just can't get the right type of touch on it to put it past the keeper, Holtz. One played out. Maddie Smith wins this one out of the air now. Armstrong staying with it. And that one hits off of the shin of Nealon. Goes out of bounds, a throw-in coming for the Big Red. Flaherty working that one towards Whitty and Armstrong. Another throw-in coming for the Big Red deep in the offensive third. Under 10 minutes now, the Big Red really trying to strike. The Big Red lead shots 10-1 after that volley from Armstrong. Coming in now for the Bulldogs, number 18, Sydney Gandy. She's coming on for number 16, Angelika Bertola. And coming on for the Big Red, number 17, Jackie Graham. She's subbing in for number 19, Ann Dens. Jackie Graham.
And for the Big Red, number 17, Jackie Graham.
Jackie Graham leads the Big Red with 8 goals this year. I believe they've all came here at Barclay Thompson Field this year. Vilsack gets that one over to Graham, trying to get her right into the offensive rush. Some fresh legs, try and put one into the back of the net. Vilsack steps up, tries to take that one right out from underneath Gandy, but she knocks that out of bounds. That one thrown in now to Gandy off of her feet and out of bounds. A throw-in coming now. Coming for the Big Red. 7 of Jackie Graham's 8 goals have come here. 1 of them were away. Armstrong with it now on the near sideline, trying to work it into the box, but it's stripped from her by Rachel Logue. Now in towards the middle. That one's knocked away there by the defender, Kelly Riley. Vilsack with a great right foot gets it going back in towards the middle. She's a little slow to get up. As we know, she was injured a little bit in the semifinal game of the NCAA tournament and the finals of the NCAA tournament. So she's battling that injury right now, but she's playing a very terrific game so far. Madison Smith plays that one up the far side, looking for Flaherty. Flaherty tries to cut it back in. She regains possession out near the top of the box. She gets a left-footed cross in there off the head of Jackie Graham, and it's moved out by Erin Crystal. Crystal working with Gandy. Gandy against Vilsack. Crystal playing this one forward, headed out by Wensel. Crystal with the throw in. Once again, headed out of the air by Wensel and out of bounds. 7 minutes left to play here in the first half. We're still scoreless. The Big Red out shooting the Bulldogs 10-1. Vilsack with that now. Plays it forward. Looking for Armstrong, but way out of her reach. Finds Rachel Logue. Logue plays it into the middle. Madison Smith working now, steps up, as does Vilsack. Vilsack caught a little bit off there, but takes that one from Shive. Played forward by Riya. Graham with it now on the sideline. Graham trying to turn around Crystal. Knocked out of bounds by Erin Crystal. 6.5 left to play. Vilsack with a throw in now for the Big Red. She gets it to the feet of Graham. Trying to cut it into the middle, but Riya plays it back to Crystal. Back to Riya. Riya into the middle now. Over to Mcpeake. Mcpeake trying to find somebody on the sidelines. Nobody there for that one. And the Big Red with another throw in. Graham finds Armstrong there. Armstrong working it towards the middle. Has a lot of speed. She's going to create her own space. Moves past Riley. A right-footed shot taken and a diving save. Shot was a little bit off the mark. The 11th one of the day for the Big Red. This one booted out by Holtz. One out of the air by Flaherty with her head, but she heads it all the way back towards the goal. It's picked up easily by Holtz. She'll try again. One out of the air now by number 11, Caroline Nealon. And Esther Younger tried to play that one up towards Shive, but Skelly sees it out, and the Big Red with another throw in. 5 minutes left to play. The Big Red trying to get onto the board here in the first half with all of their offensive opportunities. Whitty trying to corral that one in at the top of the box. No such luck. And it's played out by Riley. Vilsack has it now and knocks it out of bounds. Sub coming on for DeSales, number 19, Brooke Turplin. See who she comes in for. She's coming in for number 4, Jamie Barna. Jamie Barna hasn't really had too much work on that far side, as none of the offensive threats for DeSales have yet to this point. That one missed touch there by Wensel, out of bounds. A throw in once again coming for DeSales. Around 4 minutes left to play in this one. That one played in. Shive trying to head it on. Nobody there for that one, and it's played out of bounds by Skelly. That was Turplin running in, trying to take that one away from Skelly before she put it out. Some fresh legs out there on the front line for DeSales. Maddie Smith trying to get that one out. Can't get enough on it. Vilsack stops that one before it goes any further. Her pass hits off Whitty, but it goes out of bounds. A goal kick coming now for the Big Red. That one was hit by Sydney Gandy, but she didn't have anybody there to retrieve it. About 3:40 left to play. Wensel will take this one now for the Big Red. Sizable crowd moving in here as the first half is winding down. That one out of the air. The Big Red have it now. Jackie Graham plays it out wide looking for Wozniak. Wozniak working against Crystal. Crystal puts it out of bounds, and another throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Jackie Graham taking this one. Looking for Wozniak. Wozniak moving it forward down the sideline. But Logue plays it forward, looking for Shive. A nice touch by Shive to settle that one. Good move by Riya. Riya playing it forward. Skelly gets a foot on it and moves it back, going the other way. Good job there by Skelly. Whitty has it, gets it moving back towards the offensive end for the Big Red. And that one, Maggie Armstrong put just out of the reach of her own self and has it knocked away by Mcpeake. Mcpeake once again gets a foot in there, knocks it away. 2.5 left to play here in the first half. Vilsack throws this one in, gets it to Graham. Once again, Crystal knocks it out of bounds. Another throw-in coming for the Big Red. Graham working down the near sideline with Crystal trying to win the ball, gain some possession. She has it, trying to get it in towards the box, and Mcpeake blasts it out of there. Shive working against Wensel now. Wensel with some good space off the foot of Wensel. Goes out of bounds. Just under 2 minutes left to play. A sub coming in now. For the Bulldogs, number 8, Amanda Foley coming in now, the freshman from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. She takes over for Rachel Shive. That one headed down by a foul there on the newly entered Amanda Foley. So free kick coming now for the Big Red. Drew Wensel with a very good boot. She can very easily put this one into the box. That one at the feet. Looked like Wozniak was in there, but a good job by the defender to shade her off and let Holtz come out and pick that one up. Just about a minute left to play here in the first half. Still knotted at 0. That one out of the air by Armstrong over the head of Crystal. Graham trying to retrieve this one, but she can't do so, and that one knocked out of bounds by Vilsack. She came blazing in towards Foley. That one thrown out of bounds. Big Red with a throw in now. 40 seconds left to play. Trying to get anything into the back of the net now. Vilsack gets it into Graham. Graham trying to turn it back in towards the middle. Vilsack trying to get to that. Riya knocks that one out of bounds. 22 seconds left. Vilsack moves it forward, gets it over to Wozniak. Wozniak moves it in, gets it in towards the box. No one there to retrieve that one, and it falls right to the feet of Holtz. 10 seconds left to play, and it looks like we're going to move it into halftime. Knotted up at 0. A dominant offensive display from the Big Red, but they just have not been able to find the back of the net. But I can't imagine they'd be unhappy with the way that first half went, only allowing 1 shot, which did not go on goal. So overall, we are knotted up at 0 after 1 in this NCAA first round women's soccer tournament match between the Denison Big Red and the DeSales Bulldogs. I'm Evan Flax here on the Denison Sports Network, and I'll be right back after a short halftime. And welcome back to Granville, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the second half of this NCAA Women's Soccer Division III Tournament first round matchup between the DeSales Bulldogs and the Denison Big Red. The Big Red starting with the same lineup that they started the game off with. So Jackie Graham back on the bench and Den's back out onto the field. DeSales will start with it here in the beginning of the second half. We're tied, 0-0, but the Big Red offensively dominant in the first half. 11 shots to 1 shot for DeSales. 2 corners for the Big Red, 0 for DeSales, 2 offsides. Aggressive mistakes for the Big Red, 2-0 for DeSales. 3-2 fouls led by the Big Red. And Lucchese wins that one. She's moving forward now for DeSales. That one taken away from her by Skelly, but worked on. Riley with it now. Riley with some nice moves working against Wozniak. Riley back with it now, trying to play it forward. Wensel gets a good foot on that one. A missed touch there on the far side by Crystal, and Armstrong has it now in the middle. Wozniak trying to move it forward, looking for Whitty, but way out of her reach, over the foot of number 14, Rachel Logan, picked up by the goalkeeper, Emily Holtz. That one out of the air there by Armstrong on the far side. That one knocked out of bounds. Throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Vilsack playing this one in. Gives it over to Dens. Dens trying to move it in towards the middle. Gives it back to Wensel. Plays it up. That one headed out. Wensel working now against Lucchese. And Shive wins that one, but gives it out to no one. And Ingwall moving forward now, knocked away by Vilsack. Riley has it, moving forward. Vilsack trying to move it forward now. Vilsack with a little bit of room to run, gives it out wide, looking for Armstrong. Armstrong working against number 14, Rachel Logue on the far side. That one out of bounds, a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Throw-in to Armstrong, and that one off the leg of Crystal and out of bounds. Another throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Den's looking for someone to give this one into, trying to give it in towards the box to Whitty. Can't connect with her, and Madison Smith has it now. She lets that one go out of bounds. A throw-in now for the Big Red. She quickly picks it up, puts it in play, and Dens working against Crystal now again on the far side. Dens wins a throw-in for the Big Red. She throws this one in past Crystal, looking for Armstrong on the far side. Armstrong getting herself some space. Armstrong with a low cross. Doesn't go too far. Esther Younger knocks it down, and then it's knocked out by Logue. Wensel shields this one out of bounds. Throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Dens has it. And the stands are really filling up here early in the second half. 42-15 left in regulation. We're still knotted at 0. Throw-in coming deep in the offensive third for the Big Red. Dens puts it short. A right-footed ball into the box off the foot of Riley. And scooped in by the goalkeeper, Holtz. Holtz waiting for everybody to move past them. Holtz pushing forward. Burlett steps up, takes that one away, finds the feet of Wozniak. Wozniak gives it out to Flaherty here on the near side, but it's taken out from under her by Nealon. And then it's worked forward there by Barna and out of bounds. And a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Some DeSales fans not too happy with that call for the throw-in for the Big Red. Nevertheless, the call is made. That one by Wozniak. Tried to win that one in the middle off of the feet from Younger. Vilsack now working against Bertola. She wins it there on the far side. Makes a nice move, cuts back past Shive. Bertola comes in strong, but the pass gets put away to Madison Smith, and Wensel boots it up, looking for Dens on the far sideline. Whitty now has it. Whitty puts this one, puts that one past. Or out of bounds, a throw-in coming now for the Big Red, excuse me. A nice move there on the far side. Cut back. Looked like Maggie Armstrong on the far side trying to get it in towards the middle. Dens with it now. That one played into the middle now. Number 4, Jamie Barna has it. She tries to play it out wide, but it just goes past the feet of Nealon, and a throw-in coming for the Big Red. Flaherty's going to give it a sec, let her teammates move forward a little bit. Once again, the Big Red maintaining possession in their offensive third. This one given to Armstrong just outside of the box. She cuts it back to her left foot. A good pass to Flaherty. Flaherty inside the box. A left-footed strike goes way wide left. She tried to get around that one and hit it too much with the toe over foot. Got it going the other way. Might have had a shot if she started it right at the goalkeeper and let it do it. Let it move the way that it did. We should mention that the disallowed goal in the first half was called for a handball on Meg Wozniak in that original confrontation, I guess you could call it, between her and the defender, where she started to create some space. It was called by the far line judge, who gives a throw-in to DeSales now on that one. So, nevertheless, we are still knotted up at 0 here with 39 left to play in regulation. Wensel plays this one up. Riley has it now, puts it into the middle, gives it to Shive. That's taken away from Shive by Madison Smith, who looks out wide, looking for Flaherty, but can't get it past Caroline Nealon. Wozniak wins that header, gets it to Armstrong, who tries to move it to Flaherty once again. Taken away once again by Nealon. Flaherty and Nealon going after this one. Want to pass by Skelly. Goes out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for the Bulldogs. That one played in. Whitty playing defense now on Riley. Physical effort there from Whitty. Don't see that too often. Burlett throws this one in. And it looked like the defender, Younger, got over the top of Armstrong a little bit. A foul called there. So a free kick coming for the Big Red. That's the third foul against DeSales. And a very good effort now, or very good opportunity now for the Big Red to put one into the back of the net. See Wozniak, Armstrong, and Skelly move their way in towards the box, try and get ahead on this one. Most likely Wensel will go for the back post here. She takes it. Whitty moves over it. Wensel plays it low, can't get it past the first man, which is Nealon, and it gets knocked away by Nealon. Chasing this one down is Bertola, and it's knocked out of bounds by Burrell. The Bulldogs trying to start their counter now. Throw-in coming now from Nealon. A missed touch there from Wensel, but Skelly's there to clean up the mess and moves it back forward towards the offensive third for the Big Red where Armstrong is. Armstrong working against Younger. Whitty working against Riley now, trying to stay with it, regain possession. Lucchese in the middle, gives that one away to Maddie Smith, but Shive takes it away from her, and Wensel plays it out wide. Dens has Erin Crystal on her back, trying to take it from her. That one goes off of the feet of Crystal out of bounds, and a throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Vilsack to take this one. 36.5 left to play here in regulation, still knotted up at 0. A little bit more back and forth, but more between midfield and offensive third for the Big Red, not so much just strictly in their offensive third this half. Skelly moving this one forward. Running forward is Madison Smith. Dens gives it up to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to press it into the box. And Armstrong running through the defender. Advantage called by the referee. And DeSales has it. Lucchese gives it over to Shive. Shive trying to work past Whitty. Whitty staying with her. And Wensel steps up and grabs it. Riley working against Smith. Smith wins that. Smith trying to play it out wide. Doesn't put it where she wants to, and Younger has it now. Gives it over to Riley, but Burrell steps up, steals this one, has some room to run down the sideline. And coming towards her was Carolyn Nealon. She ran right through Burrell. Burrell a little bit slow to get up, but, you know, like we've mentioned before, Burrell, one of the toughest soccer players we've seen come through Barclay Thompson Field. And without a doubt, she'll get right back up and play this game just as hard as she was before the hit. Wensel will take a free kick now, the 4th foul of the day against DeSales. Wensel puts this one near the top of the box, headed in towards the box by Madison Smith, but knocked out once again. Lucchese running next to Skelly now, and a great defensive play by Skelly once again, as she does not ever disappoint. Gets a great foot in there, a great touch, and wins the ball. Gets it moving back offensively for the Big Red. Whitty has it now, trying to work it out wide to Flaherty, out of her reach. But Whitty ends up back with it, working with Flaherty. Flaherty cuts it back in, moves it out, and Whitty's called offsides. That's the 3rd offsides there on the Big Red, with 34.5 left to play in regulation. I wouldn't say a very balanced matchup so far in this one. The Big Red have really dominated, but on the goal side, it's as balanced as it gets. Knotted up at 0. Nobody's been able to find the back of the net. Big Red is certainly with more chances, 12 shots to 1. That one thrown in by Burrell, looking to get it over both Younger and Nealon for Armstrong. That one now finds Armstrong, working with Flaherty. That one knocked out by Barna. Throw-in coming for the Big Red. Flaherty looking for Whitty that time. Another throw-in coming now. Flaherty trying to get this one in more into the box for Wozniak. Armstrong and Wozniak in near the box, and that one played out of everything. Looked to be number 14, Rachel Logue, there on the back line. Logan Burrell throwing it in, gets it over the head of Armstrong and of Nealon. Nealon with a nice move, but Flaherty takes that one from her, tries to make a little hesitation move, and that one out off of Nealon once again, and Flaherty with another throw in for the Big Red. That one towards the feet of Armstrong, knocked out of bounds, and a goal kick coming up now for the Bulldogs. Big Red, no issue getting it into the offensive area, but still the issue of putting it past the goalkeeper, Holtz. 32.5 left to play in regulation now. Big Red still dominating possession and pace of play. Flaherty tries to win that one with her head. She's the first one to get something on it, and Madison Smith ends up with it now. Whitty with a missed touch. She loses that. Skelly trying to touch that one. Lucchese trying to corral that one in, but Wensel ends up with it. Madison Smith gets it out wide to Dens. Haven't seen much of Dens in this second half. That one played over the top by Wozniak. Dens going to try and run this one down and take it away from Logue, but Logue has it. Wozniak does the exact same thing, gets it to Dens. Dens back into the middle to gets it to Whitty. Whitty with a left-footed shot, goes wide. Just under 32 left to play. Here, these stands are packed. Lots of Big Red fans anxiously awaiting a goal. As the Big Red have offensively dominated this one so far. Almost 15 minutes down here in the second half. The Big Red have yet to find the back of the net, even with all their offensive pressure. That one out of bounds. Burrell with the throw in now. Wozniak was making a run there, but couldn't find her. Just a lot of movement going on right now. Burrell finds Whitty, and a missed touch there, and it goes out of bounds. That one played out, won by Burrell on the ground, but picked up by Nealon, out of bounds, off the head of Barna, and a throw-in coming for the Big Red once again. Nealon off the head, out of bounds. Two numbers I think that would be astonishingly high in this game that I haven't kept track of is goal kicks and throw-ins. Corner kick coming now for the Big Red. Logan Burrell will be taking this one, number 5, for the Big Red. Once again, looking for Wozniak. Armstrong, Skelly in the box. Burrell puts this one into the box and over the back of the goal. No opportunity here for the Big Red. Coming in for DeSales, number 6, Marisa Riya. She's coming on for number 21, Danny Ingwall. Haven't seen a lot of action from Ingwall so far in this one. Lucchese comes over to greet Riya into this game. Her second time entering into this one. Whitty wins that one. Throw-in coming now for the Big Red on the far side. Now a sub coming in for the Big Red. Coming off the field, number 19, Ann Dens. Coming onto the field, number 24, Grace Murray. Grace Murray, the sophomore from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Just has an unbelievable amount of speed up front. Is a very, very good offensive threat for the Big Red off the bench with some fresh legs. Another throw-in coming now. She gets that one into Armstrong. Armstrong trying to get it to Whitty in the box. Another one blasted out of bounds. Another throw-in coming now for the Big Red. That one played in Wozniak. Gets it out. Looks like it's Vilsack. Hits one on the ground. In towards the box. Past the feet of Wozniak. Madison Smith has it now. Gets to Wozniak. At the top of the box. A right-footed shot taken right to the hands of Holtz. An easy one for her to corral in. Shot and a save by Wozniak. 28 left to play here in regulation. Still knotted up at 0. This one out of the air. Nobody wins it. Skelly wins The second try has it taken from her by Bertola and Lucchese working against Wensel now and Vilsack. She gives it out wide to Barna. And across by Barna. Corralled in by Harold. One of the first real times that Harold's even made contact with the ball today. Hasn't seen a lot of action in that third of the field. Portola trying to get it over to her teammate there. Lucchese working against Skelly now. Cuts it back the other way. Looking for Bertola. Bertola working up this near side, and Flaherty steps back on defense. Does a great job to chase her down. Knocks that one out off of her, and a goal kick coming now for the Big Red. And that's something the Big Red do a really great job of. We've seen Ashlyn Flaherty all over the offensive side today for the Big Red. But she stepped back there and did a great job on defense to help out that back line to not allow any type of offensive threat from DeSales. Lucchese still working against Skelly now. That one rolling. Just before it goes out, Skelly gets a foot on it. Bertola puts it in towards the box. Shive was waiting for it, but Drew Wensel's there to get that out. Wensel with a head on it, gets it over to Vilsack. Vilsack working now and kicks it out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for DeSales, putting some offensive pressure on. Vilsack wins it on the far side and plays it up towards midfield. That's as far as it gets. It's played back. DeSales trying to switch fields now. Played in towards the middle. Whitty against Riya. Whitty trying to win this one. A little bit of physical play from her there. This one played over the top of Burrell. Burrell working against Portola, and she knocks it out of bounds. 25-48 left to play here in regulation. The Bulldogs starting to press offensively. Skelly steps up, knocks this one out of bounds. Lucchese once again in on that play. Portola working against Burrell there on the sidelines. That one kept in by Nealon. Nealon puts that one in towards the box, but it's played out by Wensel up towards the middle. This one in the middle now. Logue working with Riya. They play that forward, and that one headed by Lucchese. By Skelly out of bounds. Throwing coming for DeSales once again. That one to the feet of Bertola. Shive with it now, plays it in towards the box. Wensel there to corral that one in. Crystal there for DeSales, gets it going back into the offensive area. Lucchese has it, but she's swarmed by a group of Denison defenders. That's taken from her. Armstrong missed that one. Murray ends up with it now. Heads it back in towards the middle. Riley has it. Riya for DeSales. In the middle now, gets it to Shive. Shive, good 1-2 with Riya. Skelly steps up, takes it from Riya, and starts moving it forwards. Skelly moving it up down the middle of the field now. Armstrong giving chase. Riya has it now. Shive in the middle of the field working against Maddie Smith. That one played forward to Bertola. Bertola, good pass into the middle there to Riya. Wensel steps up and takes away that opportunity. Riya was looking for Lucchese there in the middle of the field. Barna on the far side, colliding with Vilsack. Barna is down. And we're back here in Granville with some more NCAA first round tournament action. A few subs for the Big Red. Number 19, Ann Dens, comes on for number 9, Ashlyn Flaherty. And coming on for DeSales, number 18, Sydney Gandy. She comes on for the injured player, number 4, Jamie Barna. 23-28 left in this one. Throwing coming now on the far side for DeSales. DeSales in the past few minutes has really come on strong offensively. which is not something we've seen them do the entire rest of the 3 quarters of this game, or from what we've seen to this point, but they're starting to make an offensive push. This one played back now. Younger plays it over to Logue. Whitty with it now at midfield. Whitty moving it forward. Had a little bit of room to run with the left foot. Plays it forward to Grace Murray. Grace Murray trying to run this one down, but Younger knocks it out of bounds. And the Big Red moving forward towards the offensive third. And Meg Sutter coming into the game now. See who she enters for. Meg Sutter is entering for number 24, Grace Murray. Meg Sutter has a very unique ability to receive any ball, no matter how hard or where it's hit around her, and somehow corral it in to her feet. So we'll see how impactful she can be for the Big Red on the offensive end. Once again, a goal kick coming for DeSales. Once again, I wish we kept that stat of how many they've had today, because it's got to be a very large number. Not sure whether it's more or less than the amount of throw-ins each team has had. That one played forward now, off the head of Madison Smith. She keeps going the wrong way, but Drew Wensel's there to clean that up and keeps it moving. Sutter moving it forward, looking for Wozniak. Wozniak trying to chase this one down, and it's played out of bounds by Younger. The Big Red have a throw-in in their offensive third. She gives that one up, finds Wozniak, who tries to put it into the box. Has it there, but the goalkeeper, Holtz, runs up and grabs that one. .31 left to play in this one. That one headed backwards by Armstrong. Burlett there, trying to get that one out. Skelly, Shive has it now. Shive with a shot, blocked there by Wensel, and Harold calls off her defenders. Vilsack and Burlett runs up and grabs that one before any more offensive opportunities can arise. That one played up by Burlett. That one off the feet of Nealon and out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for the Big Red. Played it a little bit too close to the line. Burlett trying to play that one in, looking for Whitty or Dens, one of the two. Logue playing this one forward. Skelly gets up over Lucchese, tries to win that one. Shive moves it forward. Wensel gets it going the other way for the Big Red. Dens doesn't win that one out of the air, but she wins it on the ground. Trying to use her speed to get past. Trying to get past Nealon, but Nealon shoves her out. Lets the ball go out of bounds, and a throw-in coming now for the Bulldogs. 20 minutes left to play here in regulation. That one headed forward by Armstrong. Den stepping up, trying to take that one away. Shive mishits that. Stays with it, gets it going back off towards the offense. Lucchese in a foot race with Wensel. Lucchese stepping forward, and Harold steps up and grabs that one. Lucchese got it going a little bit too far in front of her, and Wensel got caught a little bit too far forward there. Caught a little bit of a break when Lucchese played that one a little bit too far. Wensel steps up, does a good step, has a good step now, takes that one away. Whitty heads it over to Wozniak there. This one by Wozniak looking for Sutter, but it comes back to the feet of Wozniak. Smith playing it over the far side, looking for Sutter. Sutter with a good touch. Cuts it back to her left side, trying to get it in towards the box. Gets it over to Whitty. Whitty trying to create herself some space, working against Crystal in the box. Now working against the other defender, and she's taking down. And it's a foul against Whitty in the box. And a free kick coming now for DeSales. Not exactly sure what the call was there. It kind of looked like Whitty got, laid on top of. But I'm not the ref. I don't make the calls. And a free kick coming for DeSales. That one played up. Only gets as far as Armstrong as the Big Red keep it moving towards their offensive third. Sutter trying to make her way again around Riley. Can't do so much, and Wensel moves it back toward Sutter. Sutter back in towards the middle to Wozniak. Wozniak Tries to get a right-footed shot off from way out, but Riya gets a foot on it and knocks it down right where it started. Burlett, a little bit of space, trying to move forward. A sliding tackle by Riya, nothing called there as she took Burlett down. She got all ball, and it goes right back to the keeper, Holtz. Holtz trying to play it forward. Trapped down by Riya. And a pass by Riley there, knocked down by her teammate, Riya. Burlett intercepts that one, tries to get it going towards Dens in the offensive end, but it goes out of bounds. Coming in now for DeSales, number 10, Isabel Mcpeake. She's coming on for number 6, Marisa Riya. Mcpeake gets herself right into it. Gets it over to Shive. Shive puts one over the head of Vilsack for the running Sydney Gandy. Gandy working against Vilsack, tries to get this one in towards the box, but it goes out of bounds. A goal kick coming now for the Big Red. 17.5 left to play in this one. Still knotted up at 0. In the earlier game today, Wash U took down York 4-0 with ease. The number 4 team in the nation moves on to the second round. The winner of this match will move forward and play against Washington University tomorrow at 1 p.m. here at Barclay Thompson Field. This one played into the box there. Gandy was working against Wensel right at the edge of the box, and a throw-in coming now for DeSales as Wensel knocked it out of bounds. This one at the top of the box, Shive has it. Shive cuts it back, gets a right-footed shot on, and it's picked up easily by Harold. Burlett was right there on the backside for Bertola. That is the first shot on goal by DeSales in this game today. Third shot overall. The Big Red have 14 shots, only 3 of them on goal, but the majority of those not on goal, right over the crossbar. Very good opportunities, very good efforts. Den's trying to put it back into the middle to Whitty. Whitty with a good touch, gets it over to Armstrong. Armstrong over to Wozniak. Wozniak with a left foot, tries to get it into the middle. Whitty trying to chase this one down, and Nealon hits it hard out towards the middle. Wensel steps up, working with Skelly to win that one, and it's taken away from Wozniak by Mcpeake. Then Bertola has it, knocks it out of bounds. A throw-in coming for the Big Red. Den's trying to flick it on, just goes over the top of her head. Looked like it just hit her in the face, but she's called for a handball. Not sure what happened there. But a free kick coming now for Nealon around midfield. Nealon puts this one towards Lucchese and Skelly. Lucchese wins it at her feet. Gets it over to Mcpeake. Mcpeake with the left foot tries to put it into the box. And Wensel heads this one out. Skelly has it now near the sideline. Moves it forwards. Nealon has it at midfield. Armstrong now. Armstrong with some room to move. Gets it moving, has Shive running her down, and Armstrong puts it forward towards Younger. Den's trying to take that one away from Younger. Can't get enough on it. And Maddie Smith trying to get it to Armstrong there, put it over her head. Burlett trying to save it, but it goes out of bounds. Looking to come in to the game now for DeSales was the injured Jamie Barna. Lucchese trying to get it into the box now. Skelly working against her. A good pass out to Burlett. A good outlet there to try and move it back up field a little bit. Younger steps up, takes that one away. Dens puts a high lofting ball in towards the middle. And once again, Wozniak called for a handball. Another free kick coming for the Bulldogs. Still knotted up at 0, 14 left to play here in regulation. Logue trying to play that one forward. Sutter got a little turned around there. Lost it. But Vilsack steps up, tries to take that one away from Crystal, but can't get enough on it. Coming in now, Jamie Barna. That's number 4. And number 6, Marisa Riya. Coming into the game for number 16, and Angelika Bertola. And number 30, Rachel Shive. Coming in, a throw in now. Wensel steps up, knocks this one out of bounds. So the Bulldogs moving up the field through throw-ins. That one put in now. Sutter trying to step up and take that away, but can't get enough on it. Burrell goes out and gets that one. Pushes Harold back in net for fear of letting her get too far out. Lucchese now working against Skelly once again. Burrell in the corner now. Working it forward off the backside of Barna, out of bounds. A throw in for the Big Red now. Burrell moving it forward, trying to get it over the head of Dens and Nealon. Only gets it to the feet of Nealon, who knocks it out of bounds for another throw in. And Nealon once again does the same thing, heads it out of bounds. 12.5 left to play in this one. Armstrong trying to move it forward, left foot, playing it up. Nobody really there to receive it, but Wozniak was in a foot chase there with Logue. Logue lets it go out of bounds, and a throw in now for the Bulldogs. Nealon moving it forward, finds Riya. And a foul called there on Madison Smith. This one is moved forward by Mcpeake. Hits off the back of Skelly's head. Dens hits that one. She's a little bit too far out of bounds. So a throw-in coming now for DeSales as the fans on the DeSales side are starting to get a little bit anxious and excited, wanting a goal from their squad. Riley tries to put this one in towards the box. Not headed away by Skelly. Lucchese working on her. Riley puts a left-footed shot on, and Harold steps up and grabs it. Good job by Harold to retrieve that one, corral it in a mess of people there between Vilsack, her, and Gandy. Harold moves it forward. One out of the air by Mcpeake. Riya steps up on the backside of Madison Smith. Whitty moves it over to Sutter. Sutter trying to get it to Armstrong in the middle. Can't get enough on that header. Now Vilsack working on Gandy on the far side. Gandy with the ball in towards the middle. Lucchese has it. Lucchese looking for a 1-2 with her, trying to get it back down the sideline, but Vilsack allowing no such business and knocks it out of bounds. A throw-in coming now for the Bulldogs on the far side. Looking to come back in for the Big Red, number 9, Ashlyn Flaherty. She's created a few offensive opportunities so far for the Big Red. Flaherty has 4 goals on the year. She has a great left-footed strike. Big Red will most likely try to utilize that. And another foul there called on the Big Red. Looked to be against Meg Sutter, so another free kick coming. That is the 8th foul on the Big Red. 4 for the Bulldogs. This free kick looks to be will be taken by number 14, Rachel Logue, the sophomore out of Burlington, New Jersey. Logue with the left foot, puts it in towards the box, headed by Wensel, headed by Dens, headed by Skelly. By Burrell. That one put in towards the box by Nealon. Riya right there tried to get a foot on it, and the first person to do so is Wensel. Whitty heads it towards the middle. Nobody there to retrieve it except for Esther Younger. 4 DeSales. Wozniak tries to move it forward, only gets it as far as Younger at midfield. A nice move by her, gets herself some space. Burrell working against Barna. Barna passes it back out to Nealon. Dens working against Nealon. And another foul called on Dens. That's the 9th one against the Big Red. Another free kick coming. This one will be taken by Nealon. This one about 15, 20 yards towards the offensive side of midfield for DeSales. She puts this one in with the right foot over top of everyone. Madison Smith gets a head on it. Gets it out towards the top of the box, and Dens tries to clear it out, but it only goes as far as it came from. Madison Smith gets ahead on that one, tries to move it out. Wozniak and Smith both went up for that one. Looked like they might have collided heads, both getting up slowly, but they both seem to be okay right now. We'll see. 8 minutes left to play here in regulation. We're still knotted up at 0. Armstrong trying to win that one out of the air. She ends up getting it with her feet. Whitty has it now. Whitty with some speed trying to move forward. Gets it over to Sutter on the far side. Sutter gets it over to Whitty, trying to in the box, but Logue is right there to knock it out of bounds. Subs coming in now. One for the Big Red, number 9, Ashlyn Flaherty. And coming in for the Bulldogs from DeSales, number 16, Angelika Bertola, and number 30, Rachel Shive. Coming off of the Big Red, number 14, Madison Smith. And the trainer's going to check on Smith with her head. On the far side now looks to be Sutter. And Sutter on the far sides. A penalty called there down near the end line. So it'll basically be a shorter corner. Now we'll see if the Big Red can take advantage of this one. Woody's taking it. She plays it out wide. This one played into the box by Vilsack. Wozniak gets a head on it, and the foot by Skelly, and it's in the back of the net. The Big Red get on the board here with 6:48 left to play in regulation. They take a 1-0 lead. I'm not sure who it was. It could have been Skelly, could have been Wozniak. Both were around the goal line, or it could have been Flaherty. Flaherty was right around the ball when it was in the back of the net. We're not sure who had it, but either way, the Big Red have taken a 1-0 lead here. Right off the free kick, Whitty played it out wide to Vilsack, who was wide open. Vilsack played it into the box. Wozniak got the first head on it, and then as soon as she did that, looked like Skelly got a foot on it. There was a little bit of a mess right around the goal line, and somebody found the back of the net. We're not sure who, but the Big Red, with a huge weight off their shoulders, with as many shots as they've had in this game, finally find the back of the net. Now this is a dangerous time for the Big Red. They have to maintain their offensive pressure. Here's Meg Sutter now on the far side, working against Crystal, trying to get a ball in. She forces a corner kick, knocks that one off Crystal, and it goes out of bounds. This one will be taken by Andrea Whitty. No surprise there. Big Red have to maintain their pressure and stay strong on the defensive end. 6 minutes left to play here in regulation. Whitty will take this one. We'll look for the heads of Armstrong, Skelly, and Wozniak once again. This one played in and right off the front of the side of the goal. Off the side of the goal. And a goal kick coming now for DeSales. 5.5 left to play in this one. The Big Red now lead 1-0. It's being reported from the booth that the goal was by Jessica Skelly and assisted by Meg Wozniak. On the far side, Meg Sutter has it once again, creating some space for herself. She's going to try and get this one in. Tries to get it in with her left foot. It's low and on the ground and taken away right away. Look to be Rachel Logue on the far side. Lucchese working against Skelly now. Shive has it. Shive with the left foot trying to look for Bertolo on the far side. And Burlett with a great job to get that one out of bounds. And I'm not sure it's going to be a throw-in now. Great job by Burlett to get to that one, let the defense slow down here on the corner. And Flaherty a step back to help on defense now. That one ricochets off Riya, and a goal kick coming now for the Big Red. They'll take their time and set this one up. Wensel will take this one once again, as she always does. What a relief for the Big Red with 6.5 left to play to get themselves on the board after so much opportunity. That one won out of the air by DeSales. It looked to be Younger and Riya. Dens Gets that one now. Armstrong, Wozniak in the middle. A foul called there in the middle of the field. Free kick coming for DeSales. The ref's going to blow the whistle to back up Whitty and Flaherty. Looks like Nealon's going to take this one. Nope, I'm wrong. Number 14, Rachel Logue, will step up now. She'll be taking this one. Looks like they're just going to press everyone forward. Now if the Big Red can get this out. This one played over the top with a left foot, and it's headed out by Logan Burlett. Now Andrea Whitty has some room to run. She's going to use her speed, and she knocks it out of bounds. She was being chased down by Jamie Barna there on the far side, and Erin Crystal. Wensel steps up and knocks this one into the stands and out of bounds. This one thrown in now. Over top of everyone. Wensel and Vilsack giving chase. Vilsack knocks it out of bounds. Another throw in deep in the offensive third for DeSales. About 3 minutes left to play here in regulation. The Big Red with a 1-0 lead thanks to the defender Jessica Skelly. Skelly with her 5th goal on the year. This one towards the top of the box. Shive has it. That's Lucchese. Lucchese tries to get it into the middle of the box. Armstrong and Dens working near the top of the box. A shot taken by Mcpeake and knocked down by Skelly. Nealon with a shot over top of the goal. And a goal kick coming now for the Big Red. Man, did Skelly wear a hard shot there. She stood right in front of it and knocked it down and got it going the other way for the Big Red. Wensel's going to take this one now, try and get it over top of everyone. She plays it over to the far side where Flaherty is. Flaherty trying to win that one, and Flaherty is knocked down by Younger. And the clock is stopped at 2 minutes. And it looks like Younger's going to receive a yellow card for that one. And a free kick coming now for the Big Red. Younger just got a little bit too excited and went right through her. Coach Murphy checking on Flaherty as she runs by the bench, making sure she's okay. She seems to be, so this one played past the first defender, but won by Younger on the far side. That one over the head of Lucchese, and Wensel's there to clean that up and knock it out of bounds. DeSales with a throw in now. Younger steps in, tries to win that one. Flaherty hits it off of Armstrong and out of bounds now. Another throw in coming with 1.5 minutes left to play. A throw in now. Skelly wins this one out of the air against Lucchese. Lucchese around the ball now. Nealon has it with a lot of space. Wensel steps up on Nealon. Mcpeake trying to get it over to Barna. And Wozniak gets it into the middle to Whitty. Whitty gets it over to the far side, to the near side, to Flaherty, who plays it down the sideline. Armstrong chasing it, and it goes out of bounds. 1 minute left to play here. The Big Red with their 1-0 lead. Burlett steps up, plays this one over all the defenders and into some open space. Armstrong chasing this one down, gets to it before Erin Crystal can. Crystal steals it from her and knocks it out of bounds. A throw-in coming for the Big Red on the near sideline. 46 seconds left to play. This one played to Armstrong in the corner. Armstrong working against Crystal now. Armstrong has that taken away from her by Riya on the end line. This one moved back towards the box. Whitty steps up, but it's played out there by Younger. Skelly's there, and Skelly plays it back up towards Riya. Headed down, but Armstrong was way offsides, looked like. No call there on the ball from Skelly. Lucchese there now working against Wensel. Wensel trying to not let her turn. Gets that one past the outstretched leg of Burlett. 10 seconds left here. That one put out of bounds by Skelly. Portola throws it in now. Shive has it. Shive has it at the top of the box, and that one goes out of bounds. The Big Red win this one 1-0 on a late goal from Jessica Skelly, and what a game she had defensively and offensively. And what a game by the Big Red. Just offensively dominant there until the second half of play. And did they step up? Man, did they step up big late. Just staying with their offensive approach. And on a set piece, played it out wide to Vilsack. Vilsack over into the box. Wozniak got a head on it And Skelly and Wozniak and Flaherty just stayed with it down near the goal line and put it past Holtz to find the back of the net. The Big Red with 15 total shots, 6 for the Bulldogs, for the Big Reds 15 on net, 1 for DeSales. Jenny Harold, 1 save. Holtz 3 saves out of 4 shots. 1 yellow card awarded in 6 fouls. 2 DeSales, no yellow cards or red cards awarded to the Big Red in 10. And after 90 minutes, after 180 minutes of soccer today, we now know that Washington University will play against the Big Red here at Barclay Thompson Field at 1 o'clock tomorrow in an NCAA Division III women's soccer second-round tournament matchup. I believe Washington University, since they are the higher seed, even though the Big Red are hosting, Washi will be the home team in that game. Now, I will be on the call for that game as well. I'm not sure if I will be joined alongside anybody, but I'm just told that I will have Adam Goldstein alongside me. If you're an avid Denison sports fan, you know exactly who that is. He does a lot of our games for football and field hockey along with me in soccer. He does basketball games. So we'll be here bringing that live to you at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Now, I am Evan Flax here on the Denison Sports Network, bringing you NCAA Division III Women's Soccer Tournament action. Thanks for watching, and so long from Granville.